Right now at 6:30, a lot of you talking about it this morning. We explain why Rand Paul spent hours on the Senate floor debating a controversial government program. Friends are remembering a Kentucky National Guard soldier who died in a crash.
And we're looking for that first batch of rain to move on out. The second batch slides on in and brings us some much cooler conditions we haven't seen in over a month. I'll show you those temperatures coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning and welcome in. Hope your Thursday is off to a great start. We are headed into the Memorial Day weekend, so stay safe out there if you happen to be traveling on the roads or anything like that. I'm Rebecca Smith. Bill Bryant has the morning off, and let's get a look at our Memorial Day weekend forecast and what is in store for today with Micah.
Yeah, and we're looking outside. It's not the best looking day. I'll tell you this, though. This is your ugliest day in the forecast. If you like clouds, if you like some chilly rain, well, it's probably the best day for you. But for the most part, I don't think anybody really likes that. Chilly air funnels on in. The first batch of rain, see you later, goodbye. Second batch of rain wraps back in later on this afternoon and off into the evening. Once you get the heating hours of the day, and I put up the quotation marks, the air quotation marks, because it's just not going to be that warm. We're actually staying much cooler than what we typically are this time of year, which is 75 degrees. Won't even come close. 52 right now across the Bluegrass region, which does include Lexington. Those roadways look good, but look toward the afternoon. 62, yeah, that's not a big jump in temperatures, and a couple of showers along the way too with some gusty rain. Now, I'll take you into your Memorial Day forecast. It's half and half. Half looks good, the other half, not so much. And I'll show you which half that is coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, it was a long night on Capitol Hill. Kentucky U.S. Senator Rand Paul spent nearly 11 hours talking on the Senate floor. The 2016 Republican presidential candidate is protesting the renewal of the Patriot Act. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live for us at Paul's Lexington office this morning.
Good morning, Rebecca. That's right. Senator Rand Paul spent nearly 11 hours on the Senate floor yesterday arguing against the renewal of the Patriot Act, calling it a violation of privacy, while the law's supporters call it a useful tool in the fight against terrorism. This marathon of Senator Paul's comes more than 2 years after his 13-hour filibuster, with yesterday's stand against NSA surveillance programs coming as the Senate is considering whether to reauthorize a crucial section of the Patriot Act, allowing the government to collect phone metadata on millions of Americans in an effort to foil terrorist plots. Paul says aspects of this law restrict the rights or violate the privacy of Americans.
There comes a time in the history of nations when fear and complacency allow power to accumulate and liberty and privacy to suffer. That time is now, and I will not let the Patriot Act, the most unpatriotic of acts, go unchallenged.
Now, many say Paul's nearly 11-hour stand last night was not technically a filibuster because the senators were discussing a different topic at the time, and Senate rules required him to stop talking by this afternoon for an unrelated vote. However, Senator Paul's office does insist this was in fact a filibuster because it did prevent the lawmakers from taking any action on reauthorizing the Patriot Act. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Thank you, Hillary. New this morning, a trial date's been set for a state senator charged with DUI. State Senator Brandon Smith was arrested in Frankfort in January on the opening day of the 2015 legislative session. Police say he was speeding and smelled of alcohol. He denied the allegations he was drunk. The Perry County lawmaker's case heads to trial tomorrow. It will be later this month before election officials look into the results of the GOP primary in Kentucky's governor's race. Republican James Comer officially requested a review of Kentucky's election results yesterday, or recanvass as it's known. Initial vote tallies showed him in second place by just 83 votes behind Louisville businessman Matt Bevin. Kentucky does not have runoff elections or automatic recounts. The recanvass effort requested by Comer would not start by law until May 28th. U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell says he will endorse Kentucky's Republican nominee for governor once the results are official. McConnell and Bevin went head-to-head in last year's Republican primary for Senate. McConnell easily defeated Bevin, who refused to endorse McConnell publicly after the race. Bevin did urge Republicans to vote against Democrat Allison Lundergan Grimes in the general election. McConnell defeated Grimes and is now the majority leader of the U.S. Senate. While the outcome of the Republican gubernatorial primary election is pending, the winning candidate already has an open invitation to take part in a debate. Center College reached out to Matt Bevin and James Comer. The winner of the primary would have the opportunity to face off with Democratic candidate Attorney General Jack Conway. Center has been the site of several political debates in both statewide and national races. Lexington police say they have connected a man to a series of burglaries and thefts around the city. Police charged 23-year-old Hugh Sullivan with burglary, fraud, and theft. Lexington police say they arrested Sullivan after a weekend burglary on Bay Meadows Drive. They say he's also linked to home burglaries and credit card fraud cases. Police first said they had linked Sullivan to more than 100 car break-ins, but later changed it to multiple. Well, friends are remembering a Kentucky National Guard soldier who died in a crash. They say 34-year-old Sergeant Jonathan Rourke was headed home from Frankfort to Knox County at the time. His car was hit by a semi on I-75 in Rockcastle County. His friends didn't want to be on TV, but they told us that Rourke was passionate about being a soldier and loved spending time with family, including his 3-year-old son.
He was somebody that everybody liked. Everybody had a kind word to say to him. He was the type of person that you strive to be like.
Police say an Ohio man who was driving one of the 6 semis involved in the crash was also killed. Well, we are making calls this morning about an unusual fire in Bath County that was smoldering well into the night. Owingsville firefighters say someone set a large trash pile on fire on Day Road. That caused a lot of smoke in that area. They say the EPA is now investigating this. No one was hurt, no buildings were damaged, but firefighters say the property owner is facing fines. Well, it's been 4 days and there is still no sight of a missing Monroe County girl. We checked with state police overnight and they say they're still looking for the 2-year-old and her mother's boyfriend, 25-year-old Anthony Barber. Troopers did find his car in a field in Tompkinsville yesterday. Police say Barber should be considered dangerous. The CIA has released more than 100 documents seized in the raid that killed Osama bin Laden 4 years ago. Jonathan Vigliotti has more on the papers that shed new light on the mindset of al-Qaeda's former leader.
U.S. intelligence officials say inside Osama bin Laden's hideout in Pakistan were shelves filled with American books. New documents reveal the al-Qaeda leader had Bob Woodward's bestseller, Obama's Wars, along with literature on thought control and how-to books on terrorist attacks. U.S. officials recovered handwritten letters from bin Laden that urged followers to carry out attacks. He wrote the focus should be on killing and fighting the American people. There's even an application form. One of the questions, do you wish to execute a suicide operation with space for an emergency contact in case the recruit became a martyr? U.S. Navy SEALs found thousands of documents when they killed bin Laden in his Abbottabad hideout in May 2011. Letters also show bin Laden planned to make his youngest son, Hamza, the heir to the jihadist empire. But despite his plans, U.S. officials say bin Laden struggled to unite al-Qaeda while in hiding. The letters suggest followers could not agree on how to wage their next deadly attack. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News.
Well, the CIA declassified the documents as part of a federal mandate. Kentucky State Police say it's targeting seatbelt use and proper child safety seat use that will continue through next Monday. KSP participating with state police agencies in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, West Virginia, and Michigan. New this morning, Kentucky Derby winner American Pharoah's owner is fighting a lawsuit. The suit claims Ahmed Zayat owes nearly $2 million to a man for gambling bets placed at offshore casinos. American Pharoah's owner says the lawsuit is a criminal scam. He and his attorneys have asked that the New Jersey federal judge dismiss the case. After decades in the business, talk show host Dave Letterman retiring from late night television. If you're up this early, you may not have actually caught his final show last night. It was pretty late. A lot of us here in the studio were asleep, including Mark Barbarack in bed, who is in our studio with a look at some of the highlights.
That's right. Good morning, Rebecca. Well, the late night host who gave us the top 10 list and the segment Stupid Pet Tricks is retiring after 6,028 shows.
For the last time on a television program, thank you and good night.
And with that, David Letterman walked into retirement after 33 years. It's almost hard to believe that Letterman is saying goodbye to The Late Show. As Letterman took the stage for the final time last night, the audience gave him a 2-minute standing ovation. The 68-year-old has entertained millions of people since 1982. Letterman wasn't afraid to experiment, and he turned late night on its head. As he heads into retirement, he's credited with changing late night television. His last show included a send-off from fellow comedians, as well as a few jokes from 4 presidents.
Our long national nightmare is over.
Our long national nightmare is over. Letterman is retiring.
Letterman is not saying what's next for him in retirement. As for The Late Show, Stephen Colbert will take over as host in September.
The end of an era. Thanks so much, Mark. A large industrial park in eastern Kentucky is set to be converted into a wildlife attraction. The Bell County Industrial Park never attracted a factory, so it's going to be repurposed. It's off US 119 between Pineville and Harlan. The Herald Leader reports that the site was sold to the Appalachian Wildlife Foundation for $750,000. Today is the fundraising deadline to save a historic Lexington bank from demolition. An advocacy group for the People's Bank on South Broadway says it still needs more than $100,000 to save it. The Warwick Foundation wants to move the building further downtown to use as a gateway as a center to the city. No word yet on whether or not the property's owners plan to move forward with the demolition. Lexington Beer Week may have just ended, but there's a new food and drink week to get pretty excited about. Smiley Pete Publishing has just announced Lexington Burger Week. It's July 6th through the 12th. It's a first for celebrating Lexington's finest burgers. 20 restaurants are participating. Each will create a $5 special burger that you cannot find on their regular menus. I like my burgers with just plain old cheese on them and mustard and onion. Let's get a check of traffic to see what is happening out there this morning. With a look at Don. How you like your burger, Don?
You know, I like everything but onions on it. See, now you're making me hungry. You know, that's the thing. 75 north and southbound off to a good start this morning. No problems on Nicholasville Road. Approaching Man-O-War, still one click of the light, so it's very light traffic there. Inbound Newtown Pike looks okay. We got a little problem at Nandino with just a stalled car, but that should be cleared shortly. Live look at Harrodsburg in the Circle in good shape. On our Waze map, no major delays to report. In fact, we're looking good around the city and on the interstate. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Don. More news from WKYT this morning is on the way. Thanks for joining us. Police officers out searching for people end up coming to the rescue of a dog in need. We'll have a look at their dramatic rescue in about 5 minutes.
And we're looking outside, seeing that rain move on out. That's the first batch of rain. Second batch comes with some cool temperatures. So we're talking chilly showers. I'll show you how that'll affect your day and also your weekend plans coming up next.